Imagine a perfect skydiving day turning into a horror in the blink of an eye. This chilling tale is of the Lake Erie Skydiving Disaster of 1967, an event that sent shockwaves around the world. Picture this: an idyllic summer day, a cerulean sky dotted with fluffy clouds, the sun shining down on the tranquil waters of Lake Erie. The stage was set for an exhilarating day of skydiving. But as fate would have it, beneath the veneer of this picture-perfect day lurked an unthinkable catastrophe. A series of unfortunate events began to unfold, turning the joyous anticipation into a dreadful nightmare. The serene sky transformed into a backdrop for a disaster that would etch itself into the annals of skydiving history. This was no ordinary day, and what started as a thrilling adventure took an unexpected, tragic turn. No one could have predicted the disaster that was about to unfold. The sun rose on July 9, 1967, promising an exciting day for skydiving enthusiasts. As daylight broke, the sky was a brilliant canvas of orange and red, hinting at the thrilling day that lay ahead. The Lake Erie shoreline was buzzing with anticipation. Skydivers from all over the country had congregated there, their faces beaming with eagerness and a touch of trepidation. They were there for the annual Skydiving Jamboree, an event that promised exhilarating jumps and camaraderie. The atmosphere was electric. The hum of the aircraft engines, the rustle of parachutes being checked and double-checked, the chatter of participants sharing stories of past jumps. It was a symphony of excitement and anticipation. Among the participants were seasoned professionals, their faces etched with experience, their movements deft and sure. Then there were the novices, their eyes wide with a mix of fear and thrill, their hands shaking slightly as they adjusted their gear. All of them, regardless of their experience, were united by their love for the adrenaline rush that came with free falling from the sky. As the morning progressed, the excitement grew. The skydivers, one by one, boarded the aircraft, their hearts beating in sync with the throb of the engines. They looked out at the vast expanse of the lake, the view a stark reminder of the adventure that awaited them. The anticipation was palpable, but so was the air of unforeseen dread. As the aircraft ascended, little did they know the terror that awaited them. The plane, a beacon of hardy engineering, soared higher into the cloudless sky. Its engines hummed a steady rhythm, lulling the skydivers into a sense of security. Strapped into their gear, the thrill-seekers exchanged excited grins, their hearts pounding in anticipation of the adrenaline rush to come. The skydivers, each with their own story, each with their own reason for chasing the thrill of the freefall, prepared for their leap into the vast, blue unknown. But as they neared their desired altitude, a sudden shift in the atmosphere filled the cabin. The humming of the engines stuttered, faltered, and then roared back to life with an intensity that was anything but comforting. It was a sound that sent a chill down even the most seasoned skydiver's spine. The plane, once a symbol of adventure, now became an omen of unease. The pilot's voice crackled over the intercom, his words punctuated by static. "A technical glitch," he said, "nothing to worry about." But his voice, strained and edged with uncertainty, told a different story. The skydivers exchanged glances, their excitement replaced with a growing dread. Their hearts, which had pounded in anticipation moments ago, now throbbed with fear. The glitch was a harbinger of the tragedy that was about to ensue. The thrill of freefall turned into a nightmare as the plane started to nosedive. The aircraft, once a vessel of excitement and adventure, was now a metal beast, spiraling uncontrollably towards the waters of Lake Erie. The calm blue surface of the lake was about to become the unwilling witness of an unspeakable disaster. Inside the plane, a chilling silence was abruptly shattered by the groaning protest of the aircraft's strained machinery. The previously jubilant atmosphere was replaced by a palpable sense of dread. Skydivers, who just moments ago were eagerly anticipating their leap into the open skies, were now gripped by fear. The once welcoming horizon was now an ominous sight, as it spun wildly in the windows of the distressed aircraft. The pilot, a seasoned veteran of countless flights, was locked in a desperate struggle with the controls. His hands, usually steady and sure, were slick with sweat as he fought to regain control of the plummeting plane. His eyes were wide with the realization of their grim situation. Yet, in the face of impending disaster, he maintained a grim determination, his every action a testament to his unwavering resolve. Back in the cabin, the skydivers were doing their best to maintain composure. Some were silent, their eyes shut tight, a silent prayer on their lips. Others were trying to comfort their companions, their voices shaky but determined. The terror was palpable, yet there was an underlying current of courage, a collective will to survive. As the plane continued its terrifying descent, the pilot made a final, desperate attempt to pull the plane out of its deadly dive. But despite his best efforts, the plane seemed to have a mind of its own. The G-forces were too strong, the descent too steep. In a matter of minutes, the joyous day had turned into a horrifying ordeal. The plane, once a symbol of freedom and exhilaration, was now a harbinger of tragedy. The descent, initially viewed as an exhilarating part of the journey, had tragically become a nightmarish plunge into the unknown. The aftermath of the disaster was a scene of complete devastation. Imagine a skydiving paradise turned into a living nightmare. The once pristine Lake Erie, a popular spot for leisurely activities, had been transformed into a chaotic rescue site. Debris from the crashed plane littered the water surface, a grim reminder of the tragedy that had just unfolded. As the news of the disaster spread, emergency services rushed to the scene. Rescue boats combed the lake, their crews working tirelessly to recover survivors and, unfortunately, those less fortunate. Helicopters hovered above, their searchlights piercing the darkness as they scoured the crash site for any signs of life. The rescue operation was a testament to the courage and determination of those involved, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. But as the hours turned into days, the initial shock of the disaster gave way to a sobering reality. The casualty count was staggering. Dozens of lives, each with their own stories and dreams, were abruptly ended. Families and friends were left to grapple with the sudden loss of their loved ones, their grief echoing across the nation. The disaster also sent shockwaves through the skydiving community. The sport, which had always carried an inherent risk, was now under the microscope. The thrill and exhilarity of freefall, the camaraderie among skydivers, were overshadowed by the grim reminder of what could go wrong. The skydiving world was left to question, to mourn, and ultimately to learn. Yet amidst the tragedy, there were stories of resilience and hope. Survivors, forever marked by the event, found strength in each other. Their stories of survival and their determination to continue living and skydiving served as a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure and overcome. The Lake Erie Skydiving Disaster had left an indelible mark on the world of skydiving. It was a stark reminder of the risks involved in the sport, a wake-up call for improvements in safety measures, and a testament to the courage and resilience of those who lived to tell the tale. The disaster served as a grim reminder of the risks involved in skydiving. This catastrophe wasn't just a tragic event, it was a turning point that shook the entire skydiving industry to its core. Before the Lake Erie incident, skydiving was seen as a thrilling sport, a daring leap into the unknown. But the disaster peeled back the layers of excitement and revealed the stark reality of the dangers involved. It was a wake-up call that led to a sobering reevaluation of safety measures. The post-disaster impact was immediate and far-reaching. Skydiving schools across the nation tightened their safety regulations. The industry as a whole began to prioritize safety over the thrill, marking a significant shift in its ethos. Training programs were revamped to include emergency protocol drills, equipment checks became more stringent, and instructors were required to have more extensive training. The disaster also had a profound effect on the design and manufacturing of parachutes. Manufacturers were spurred to innovate, developing more reliable equipment to prevent such calamities from happening again. This led to the creation of safer, more efficient parachutes that are now the standard in the industry. But the most significant lesson learned was a shift in mindset. Skydivers and the industry at large acknowledged the inherent risks of the sport. They recognized that while the thrill of freefall is exhilarating, it is not worth risking lives. This newfound respect for safety led to a decrease in skydiving-related accidents and fatalities in the years following the disaster. The Lake Erie disaster was a tragic event, yes, but it also served as a catalyst for positive change. It reminded us that adventure sports, while thrilling, carry inherent risks that should never be overlooked. The 1967 Lake Erie skydiving disaster remains a stark reminder of the unpredictability of life and the importance of safety in adventure sports.